السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. معكم الأستاذ ماهر أبو سرحان من رياض ومدارس جامعة الزرقاء ثانوية بنين قسم اللغة الإنجليزية. Welcome my dear students. Today we are going with the last lesson in Unit 10. آخر درس راح يكون معنا من الوحدة العاشرة. حيكون طبعا اللي هو the passive for other tenses المبني للمجهول مع الأزمنة الأخرى. أخذنا المرة الماضية للمضارع والماضي، اليوم راح نتعامل مع باقي الأزمنة. So we are going to open our books. Here the student book to page 89 and the other part of the lesson in our workbook to page 80, as you can see here in this picture. So starting with our student book, page 89. Okay, before we read this text, I need you to read this question and find answers. What three things were invented by Arab mathematicians? ما هي الأشياء الثلاثة التي تم اكتشافها من قبل الرياضيين علماء الرياضيات العرب? Let's read and find the answers. Arab mathematicians have made a significant contribution to the development of geometry and algebra. Nowadays, we take the number 0 for granted, but it wasn't invented until 967 AD by Muhammad bin Ahmed. In fact, all the numbers 1, 2, 3, etc. that are used throughout the world today are based on Arabic numbers. The mathematician Al-Khwarizmi is considered to be the father of algebra. The word algebra, علم الجبر أساسا, comes from the Arabic word al-jabr, اللي هو علم الجبر, and was taken from the title of a book that Al-Khwarizmi wrote in 820 AD. Another very influential scholar was ناصر الدين الطوسي, من أحد العلماء أيضا المؤثرين. He will always be remembered as the founder of modern geometry, but he was also an expert in many other subjects, including chemistry, biology, and astronomy. A crater on the moon has been named after him, Nasruddin, in recognition, اعترافا, of his achievements بإنجازاته. Now going back to our question, what are the three things, or what three things were invented by Arab mathematicians? Actually, the number 0 and algebra and also the geometry. Okay. Now I need you, my dear students, to find passive forms. بدنا نلاقي صيغ passive من النص اللي قبل شوي أخذناه. طبعا بحب أذكركم صيغة الباسف بتكون على وزن فعل باللغة العربية. باللغة الإنجليزية نستخدم أحد أفعال بي ومن ثم past participle التصريف الثالث للفعل. Again, the passive forms are using the verb to be and the past participle of the verb. We need to remind ourselves that using am, is, are with the present simple and the past participle. The was and were with the past participle. And in the negative, of course, we are going to use not. In the present perfect, we are going to use been, okay? Has or have been plus verb 3. With the future, we will use will, be, and past participle. Will, we will add be and past participle. Example from the text, according to the present simple, are paste. For the past, we have was taken. As negative, wasn't invented. As present perfect, has been named. While future affirmative, we have here will always be remembered. Okay. Now in the exploit corner, we have two lists of sentences. One of them is active and on the other side are the passive. So we need to match the active with the passive forms and Second, we need to complete the active and the passive sentences with the same meaning. So the first one is already done. Alfred Nobel invented dynamite in 1867, which goes, we will see it in a minute. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel in 1867. Okay, now number two. They have discovered a number of planets outside our solar system. This one is active sentence. So we said if we want to change it into passive, we will add been here between the have or has, then been, then the past participle. This sentence goes with D. Let's go with D. A number of planets. Now this is the object, so we need to add have been discovered. Have been discovered. Okay. Number three. In the past, sailors space stars to navigate. So this one used. So the sailors used. So this sentence goes with A. In the past, stars were used by sailors. تم استخدام النجوم من قبل البحارة للإبحار. 4. People will remember John Gutenberg for the invention of a printing press. So this one goes with F. John Gutenberg will remember. We need to add be here, then past participle. Will be remembered. Will be remembered. Okay. 5. Many people James Cook to be the greatest ever explorer. So he is considered يعتبر. So this one goes with C. James Cook is considered, as you can see it here, is considered by many people to be the greatest ever explorer. The last sentence. Scientists have developed many forms of renewable energy. This one goes with B. Many forms of renewable energy has or have been developed. Many forms, actually, this is the plural, that's why we use the have, okay? Then we added been, then the past participle of the verb. Okay, now exercise 2. Complete the text with the correct passive form of the verbs in brackets. Let's read this text about weekly websites and change the verbs into passive, but remember, you should look at the sentence whether it is simple present, simple past, or present perfect or future, okay? Wiki means quick in Hawaiian. The word is used to describe websites that write by the people who use the site, that are written by the people, since this sentence in the simple present. Anyone who visits a wiki website can add or change the information on the page. The first wiki website space created by Ward Cunningham in 1995. So as you can see here, this sentence is in the past tense بالماضي. تمام. So هون راح نستخدم was أو were. طبعا عندنا website مفرد, so we are going to use was created. Okay. طيب. Since then, wiki guidebooks, wiki dictionaries, and wiki encyclopedias space publish on the internet. Since that time till now, يعني من هذاك الوقت حتى الآن. هذا مضارع تام لأنه مرتبط مع المضارع, فبالتالي راح نستخدم have لأنه هون جمع, بعدين been, بعدين publish. طيب. The most popular online encyclopedia is Wikipedia. Over 22 million entries space add since it started have been added. مضارع تام لأنه مرتبط بالحاضر تبعنا, عشان هيك نستخدم مضارع تام. لا, if the action is completed وانتهى بالماضي نستخدم ماضي. If the action is completed, we are going to use past tense. But since the action is incompleted غير مكتمل, فبالتالي نستخدم مضارع تام. كمان مرة if the action is connected to the present الحدث مرتبط معانا بالمضارع، يعني بلش من الماضي ولكن مرتبط بالمضارع، برضو بنستخدم present perfect. اوكي. According طبعا هون and it is now the most detailed encyclopedia in the world. طيب according to the creator of Wikipedia, the work due by 2,000 people who regularly edit the pages. So the work is done. العمل يقام أو يصنع من قبل 20,000 مستخدم. The amazing thing is that it's free. Okay. Now, my dear students, I need you to answer or to form. Okay. هلا هون طبعا راح نعمل we are going to form questions بس تسهيلا لكم we are going to use past tense. So we are going to form passive sentences in the past tense. تمام. So these questions are related to all units we have been discussing in the first semester and in the second semester. Let's go with unit 1. If you remember, this was about judging people by appearance. الوحدة الأولى هذا السؤال مرتبط فيها. So what item of clothing were by doctors so was worn. شو كان الدكاترة يلبسوا بهذاك الوقت اللي هم الوايت كوت إذا تتذكروا. طب الفقرة اليونت 2 بتتذكروها اللي هي who attacked by a shark in Hawaii in 2003. That lady who lost her arm. البنت اللي كانت تسبح وخسرت ايدها. So who was attacked. طبعا you might search for the answer for these questions. هلا this is like a revision tool to previous units على فكرة. Who was called king of the mile. مين سموه ملك الميل. So go back to unit 3 and find the answer. Number 4, which town in Nebraska was found in 1902? اللي هي القرية اللي هي الوحيدة because many people let's say left the countryside and moved to the city. Which prize was received by fewer than 160 civilians in UK? That boy who was very brave and he rescued his brothers. If you remember that story, the bravery. Right. Which club was chosen by عمرو زكي to play for. شو اسم النادي اللي انضم له عمرو زكي. What was won by Ernest Hemingway in 1954. Right. Name the building in New York which was used as a lighthouse until 1902. طيب هلا حبايبي let's move to our workbook. الورك بوك تبعنا اخر درس طبعا راح يكون معانا صفحة 80 workbook page 80. طيب let's write sentences in the past simple. راح نستخدم ماضي بسيط ونكون عليهم جمل passive زي ما احنا شايفين، يعني نفس الجملة بس نكون عليها passive بالماضي. This car make in Japan. هلا زي ما تعودنا دائما we may pause the video. نوقف الفيديو نكتب اجاباتنا بعدين نرجع نشيك مع الاستاذ ماهر. تمام. This car make in Japan. This car was made in Japan. The photos taken by my sister. The photos were taken by my sister. دائما نضيف فعل be was aware حسب المفعول به هل هو جمع أو مفرد بعدين تصريف ثالث. The crime was committed at 5 o'clock this morning. 5. I was helped by my brother. 6. The pyramids were built more than 4,500 years ago. The painting was found in an old box. طيب. Now حبايبي let's do like a comparison مقارنة between this picture and the second picture. What has changed? شو اللي تغير؟ look at these pictures carefully. Look at the house, the garbage bin, the hedge here. The house was for sale, but it is sold, the bus stop, and so on. I need you now to form passive sentences but using present perfect. بحب أذكر مرة ثانية ال present perfect لما يكون الشيء بلش بالماضي ولا زال متصل معنا بالمضارع. يعني we say it in English that this is incomplete action or connected to the present. تمام؟ So rubbish pick up. The rubbish has been picked up. Bus stop repair. So you may pause the video at this moment, form your own sentences, and then come back to me to check for the correct answers. Let's do number 2. The bus stop has been repaired. Flowers have been planted. Pavement رصيف has been cleaned. Hedge has been cut. House has been sold. طيب. Let's move to exercise 3. هلا هون we need to know exactly when do we need to use the simple past or the present perfect. بذكر مرة ثانية. Simple past, completed action in the past and finished. خلص بالماضي وانتهى. المضارع التام لا بلش بالماضي but still related to the present or incompleted action. طيب, let's go to the first one. The planet Uranus was or has been discovered over 200 years ago. يعني finished, الحدث خلص من 200,000 سنة. So was. Since 2001 يعني منذ 2001 وحتى الآن till now over 100 million iPods have been sold. So since till now نستخدم have been. طيب. Last year يعني خلص last year something has happened or had happened in the past and finished. 10% of all new goods were sold over the internet. طيب. Tom wasn't or hasn't been seen since yesterday afternoon. يعني من امبارح اليوم ما حد شافه. هلا still this action is connected, related to the present. لساته مرتبط. It is not completed action فبالتالي hasn't been. طيب. Number 5. This book was just or has been just made into film. يعني هذا الكتاب صار فيلم. So it's still إنه لساته معنا مرتبط معنا فبالتالي has been. طيب. Okay, let's move to exercise number 4. Complete the text. Use the passive form of the verbs in the brackets past or present perfect. يا إما ماضي يا إما مضارع تام. The new solar system discovered. Let's go. This image was taken by the Gemini Observatory in Hawaii and shows infrared pictures of 2 planets and a star. About 130 light years from the Earth. Bruce McIntosh, who involved in the project, who has been involved, تمام, said that he said that the breakthrough could help in the search for another planet like Earth. The planets themselves thought to be between 7 and 10 times the size of Jupiter. Space about 6 million years ago and are so young, so were formed all these years since, you see, 6 million years ago. They are still glowing from the heat that was released when they were created at that time in the past. Okay, the 2 planets were discovered in October 2007, but this is the first time that they have actually been photographed. Okay, now this would be our last exercise, and this is my last assignment for you for this semester. Make active sentences from the passive sentences. راح تكونوا حبايبي جمل passive على هاي الجمل، يعني بدنا نقدر نحول الاكتف sentences هدول الى passive. So change the active sentences into passive. وهذا راح يكون اخر واجب بطلبه منكم هذا الفصل. وكل عام وانتم بخير، واتمنى ان شاء الله انه الدرس كان مفيد. وكان معكم استاذكم ماهر ابو سرحان، وطاب يومكم، والسلام عليكم ورحمه الله.